Russell Westbrook is still a Los Angeles Laker, and for now, it doesn't seem like that's going to change. Ramona Shelburne of ESPN reporting that he hasn't asked for a trade. I've been assured of that, but he's open to that, and open to go to somebody who wants him and wants to empower him and wants to be the Russell Westbrook of old. Wow, that's a tongue twister, I guess. Lakers don't like the offers they've been getting, however, and right now it seems like he's going to be in Los Angeles to start the season, for better or for worse. They don't really want to trade the 27 and 29 first-round picks that they have. And at the same time, Darvin Ham seems confident that he can get Westbrook to buy in, play defense, and play a role that would work in the starting lineup. Now, whether or not that's smart is, I guess, your own opinion. I don't think Russell Westbrook should be on this team, not only because of the on-court play, which very clearly doesn't work, but also because of the drama around it. If things start to go south, he's obviously going to be the scapegoat, for better or for worse, and fans are going to turn on him really quick. They're going to get mad at Darvin Ham for trying to play him. They're going to get mad at the team for losing. And that's if it doesn't work. Maybe it works. Maybe miraculously Russell Westbrook buys into a Javonte Green-esque role where he's just a cutter and a roller to the rim and playing in the corner and, shooting limited threes and just trying hard on defense. That's possible. And that could work alongside Anthony Davis and LeBron James and all the players they've added. But right now, it doesn't look like that's a thing. Right now, it looks like that's not going to work. But at the same time, the Lakers don't want to trade him. You've heard of the Indiana Pacers deal for Buddy Hield and Miles Turner. That would give them two quality players to play alongside LeBron and Davis, as would a deal with the Jazz, which could net them three, realistically speaking, if they're willing to give up at least both first-round picks. But they don't want to do that. It's been made fairly clear that they don't want to give up the 27 and 29 first-round picks, which could come back to bite them. Russell Westbrook recently listed his home in LA for sale, which has made headlines because the offseason is dead and there's nothing else to talk about. So that's something to watch out for. Maybe there's potential moves on the way. You don't really know. Right now, it seems like the Lakers are content on just keeping him and kind of running it that way, which is interesting. Again, I don't like it, but in terms of places that could actually use Russell Westbrook, there aren't many. There aren't many places that could actually utilize Westbrook's skill set because most teams around the league have either have a point guard or B, don't have the assets to trade for Westbrook. Now, I looked around, checked out the trade finder, looked at this, the teams, a list of teams, and I can only find two where it would realistically make sense. This is outside of Utah and Indiana, who have both expressed the desire or like a salary dump. I'm talking two places that could potentially actually use Westbrook and should be interested in the deal. First one is the Dallas Mavericks. Now, that was reported and rumored a long time ago, earlier this offseason, that, maybe he could have a role here. Maybe they'd want to sign him if he got bought out. But then Jason Kidd and the Mavericks squashed that and said, no, we don't want Westbrook. But they lost Jalen Brunson. And obviously, Jalen Brunson and Russell Westbrook are very different players. Brunson's an average three-point shooter. Westbrook should be a non-shooter at this point. But if they're looking for guard depth and somebody who can come off the bench and help lead the second unit, Westbrook wouldn't be a bad idea. Running Spencer Dinwiddie, and Luka Doncic as the starting backcourt with Westbrook running the second unit could be something to consider, especially because they don't really have a backup point guard right now. Or you could just sign Dennis Schroeder, who is going to be the MVP of the EuroLeague, which would probably be a better idea. But the upside to that trade for the Mavericks is that they would clear up a ton of cap space next offseason. Their whole goal right now should be to find an adequate second star for Luka. It failed. The Kristaps Porzingis trade failed. That didn't work. That was their first attempt at it. It didn't work. Getting another chance at it is important. If they trade Tim Hardaway Jr., Davis Bertans, and the minimum contract or two for Westbrook and one of those two first, they not only add another first-round pick to put in a potential trade down the line for a big-time star, but they also clear up a bunch of space next offseason to build. Even if they don't land a star next summer to potentially pair with Doncic, which, who's to say if they could find one anyways, they would at least have money to spend on guys that A, fit the team better, and B, could be traded down the line for that star. Right now, you've got Bertans making a ton of money, Hardaway Jr. making a ton of money. THJ could potentially come back next season because he was injured and make a big-time impact. But Davis Bertans is just not that guy. He's proven that he's not really fit for that sort of thing. So you debate, Is it worth keeping them on the roster? Should you trade him for Russell Westbrook and then have that salary clear up even sooner? Like I said, you'd have to pair, just because of how much Westbrook makes, you'd have to pair a couple of minimum contracts with it just to get it to work. But it could be worth it, because you look at the 2023 free agency class, potential guys you could sign to put alongside Luka Doncic. Andrew Wiggins could be a free agent if he doesn't work up something with the Warriors, which we'll get into a little bit later. That could be an option. Kyrie Irving will be a free agent. Chris Middleton will have a player option, which we'll probably pick up. Other guys, I mean, that's about it for the star potential. But like I said, even if you can get a couple guys for $15 million a pop, $20 million a pop, just to bring them in and have them as that trade bait, you look down the line. Harrison Barnes will be a free agent. That'd be a solid signing to bring him back, even though his relationship might not be ideal. D'Angelo Russell will be a free agent if you want to lob 15 to 20 mil at him. Miles Turner will be a free agent if you want to go after him in free agency. Patrick Beverley will be a free agent. Christian Wood, you'll have to re-sign him, obviously. Steven Adams, Karis LeVert. There's plenty of quality role players that you can grab to put alongside Luka Doncic next summer in order to prepare. Maybe you package them with a couple of those first-round picks, the Lakers one you got and one you already have on the roster, to get a star, because that next free agency too, even if you wanted to sign them to like 1-year deals, say you sign D'Angelo Russell to a 1-year $20 million deal to play alongside Luka next offseason. Say you sign Harrison Barnes to a 1 in a team option. That next offseason, the offseason of 2024, that's where you start getting the big time players. That's when you see Jaylen Brown's a free agent. That's when you see Chris Middleton's officially going to be free agent. That's when you see Pascal Siakam's going to be free agent. That's when you see Fred VanVleet, Tobias Harris, James Harden, CJ McCollum. Like, that's when you start getting those real deal players that you could put alongside Luka Doncic. Did I say Jaylen Brown? That's probably the cream of the crop you want to put alongside Luka. So if you make this Westbrook trade, it gives you a lot more freedom to make moves down the line and potentially get a star in 2024. Plus you get the pick, plus you have your own picks, which I think they're hesitant to trade. So that could be an option that the Lakers should consider. I think it wouldn't be the worst idea in the world. It could end up helping them better plan for Luka's future and getting a star in 2024. So keep an eye out for them. The other team that Westbrook could go to and actually have a solid impact is, I wrote Wizards parentheses LOL here because he got traded from the Wizards to the Lakers. But realistically speaking, they're the only team that Westbrook could start on and play like himself. Because it works. He helped them make the playoffs 2 seasons ago with Bradley Beal. They'd have Kristaps too. The only issue there is there's no trade for them to make, right? The only potential trade they can make to get Westbrook back would be dealing like Will Barton, Kyle Kuzma, and like Delon Wright and some younger guys. And the Wizards aren't going to make that deal because they just added depth around Beal. The only thing they could do is trade Porzingis and other pieces for Westbrook, and even that I don't think would be worth it. So there's no feasible deal the Wizards could make for Westbrook, but that's really the only landing spot you could look at and say, yeah, Westbrook could start for that team and help make them better. Which isn't a knock on Westbrook as much as he just doesn't really fit a lot of teams around the league. His play style is kind of fading out, and that's a big reason why the Lakers failed last season. You need to put Westbrook in a position where he can be the guy or else he'll fail, and in OKC you saw that that's not good enough to win a championship. So the Wizards can't make a deal. Maybe he gets bought out, or maybe they go after him next offseason, and then that's the point guard they want next to Beal for a little while, but right now, the Mavericks seem like the only team that could possibly trade for Westbrook and have it be worth it, where they would only be getting 1 pick. And even that I don't think will happen. I think Westbrook will end up in LA until things start to go bad, and then he'll end up in Indy or Utah. But Mavericks could be a solid idea. And in terms of teams where Westbrook could actually play, Wizards seem like the only one, and a trade just isn't possible with the money there. So Westbrook's going to be in LA for now, even though he just listed his home for sale.